What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. If you want to be a part of my Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, guys, you know what to do. You got to get down to the description box. You got to click on that first link, which is that Wealth Builders financial community Patreon link. It'll take you over to Patreon, and then all you got to do is sign up and come join us. We'd love to have you as part of our wealth building family. Now, what do we do on the Wealth Builders? Well, we just try to help one another build wealth. It's pretty simple, guys. That's all we do. On the Wealth Builders financial community on Patreon, we just try to help one another build wealth through golden nuggets, best practices, tips, what's working, what's not working. We provide a safe environment for people to ask questions and get answers. Again, no experts there. We're just regular smugglers. Just regular people out here trying to build wealth, but do it in a community style. If you want to get yourself out of the matrix, man, and get yourself into a financial community that, will do everything it can to help you get to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, then you certainly need to click on that first link in the description box, which is the Wealth Builders financial community link. Come on over to Patreon, sign up, and then send me a direct message introducing yourself, and let's go to work. Well, guys, we have a stock market that is going bananas today. I mean, you're talking about we haven't seen this level of excitement since mid-February 2025 when the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the Dow all hit fresh all-time highs. We have not seen this level of excitement that we see right now. And the reason for that is those three indexes are near their all-time highs today. You got the S&P 500 over 6,100 points the first time since mid-February, guys. You got the Dow was over 4,300 points for the first time since what? February. And then you got the NASDAQ over 20,000 points for the first time since February. So here's the thing. Why is the stock market going bananas? The reason it's going bananas is because that's the whole point of the stock market, right? The whole point of the stock market, I keep telling y'all, is to make money. The whole point of it. I'm not surprised it's going bananas. I believe it will continue to go bananas. Why? Because we got some potential positive catalysts to continue taking it higher. One of those positive catalysts is interest rate cuts. Well, what do you mean, Richard? The Fed hadn't came out and said they're going to do any interest rate cuts. What are you talking about? Well, guys, you ain't been paying attention. See, y'all only listen to Jerome Powell, but you do understand there's something called the FOMC, which is the Federal Reserve Committee, where you vote on whether you're going to increase rates, keep rates the same, or decrease rates. See, they have to vote on this. Jerome Powell don't just get to make the decision on his own. So some of y'all need to go out and do some research. No, Jerome Powell don't get to make that decision by himself. Now, don't get me wrong, he's the chairman. But he don't make the decision on his own. He has a whole committee of people, man. And guess what's starting to happen recently? You've had about 3 of those committee members who actually vote on interest rates come out on record and say, yeah, we believe it's time to lower rates. And then what do you see? Jerome Powell yesterday, when he was on Capitol Hill speaking to the House of Representatives, guess what he said? Yeah, I think we can see rate cuts sooner than later. See, y'all missed that, right? Go back and do your homework. You missed that. See, yesterday, you got these Fed chair come out and say, yeah, I can see rates being cut sooner than later. And then you have other 3 folks on that committee, that FOMC committee, come out and say, yeah, I can also see rates being cut sooner than later. What do you got coming this Friday? Here's the next catalyst. What do you got coming this Friday, guys? You got the PCE inflation report coming out on Friday. And it's widely expected that inflation will continue to stay right where it's at. Not a major spike up from what? Tariffs. At least that's what the market believes. The market doesn't believe the PCE report for what? May, of course, will spike up for tariffs. They don't believe that. So that's another positive catalyst. If the PCE from May comes in and mirrors the CPI from May, that's good news. Now, we don't know what June, July, and August PCE will look like or CPI will look like. That'll be critical. But for right now, we may get a rate cut in July. What do you think gonna happen to the stock market if we get that rate cut, that 25 basis point rate cut in the Fed meeting in July? It's gonna go ballistic. My opinion, not financial advice, not trying to give you financial advice. I'm just telling you, I think if we get that rate cut, that 25 basis point rate cut on top of what's already happening right now in the market, we haven't seen this type of market reaction, guys, since February. Now, some people are going to say, well, hey, man, that's great, but guess what's happening right now to the stock market? It's coming down. Yeah, it is. Why is it coming down, though? Investors take profits, guys. You do understand that, right? You do understand the market goes up and down, right? You do understand when you have a rally like this, you do know institutional investors, hedge funds, billionaires, retail investors do what? They take a little bit of froth off of the top. See, they take a little froth off of the top and then they put that froth somewhere else, but they leave the main thing. The main thing is still in the market. That's why we were at 6,100 points. Now, we're slightly below that right now. As I record this video, we're slightly below that. Right now, we're actually, tell you exactly where we're at. Let me look it up for you. As of right now, we're at 6,092.74 points. The high today was 6,108. As we speak, or as I speak right now, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell is speaking to the Senate Banking Committee on Capitol Hill. Yeah, he's speaking to those folks right now. See, one of the mandates of the Federal Reserve is to do what? Regulate banks. That's one of the mandates of the Federal Reserve, is to regulate banks. Another one of their mandates is our payment processing systems here in America. Those are two of their functions. So he's on Capitol Hill having that conversation with the Senate Banking Committee. But what is the market listening for, though? They're just listening for his tone. What does he think is happening with the economy? What does he think is happening with inflation? They're just waiting on anything, guys. But the big thing why the market took a dip, in my opinion, is investors taking profits. See, guys, when you get to all-time highs, people take profits. That doesn't mean there's something wrong with the stock market that's getting ready to crash, or what bad news is out there? What's going on? No, well, it's just a function of the stock market. When you get to all-time highs, you take a little froth off the top. You take profits. That don't mean you completely get out of the market, but you just take some gains. You take them. That's being a smart investor, right? I don't know why people think the stock market should only go up. Oh my God, it should only go up. Oh my God, it's going down. What's happening? What am I missing? You ain't missing nothing. You got investors taking profits. That's what you're missing. You should take some of your, well, I can't tell you what to do. Nope. Got to back off of that one. I don't need y'all trying to say I'm trying to tell you what to do. You do whatever you want to do. I'm just being general. In general, investors are taking profits right now. In general, that's my opinion. You go out and do your own independent research and come up with your own conclusion. But my conclusion is investors are taking profits right now. When you get to all-time highs in the market, investors take profits. hedge funds, institutional, billionaires, and retail investors. They take profits. That doesn't mean though. See, here's the thing. For a guy like me, I love when they take profits, especially in a good environment where I know the S&P is around 6,100 points, dang on near all-time highs, and people are taking profits and it's still above 6,000 points. Guess what that tells me? Momentum's still there. So a guy like me does what? Go on, take them profits and bring that price down a little bit for me so I can slide in there and plant some seeds. That's what I do. I just take this opportunity to plant some seeds. One of my favorite ways to plant seeds is CoreWeave, right? CoreWeave right now, people are panicking. Oh my God, oh my goodness. Oh, it's going down. What's happening? It's good. What's happening to it? You do understand NVIDIA still has 24 million shares of this company, and you do see what NVIDIA is doing today, right? You do understand that, right? You do know NVIDIA is over $150 a share today. Name the last time NVIDIA has been over $150 a share. Let's go back to December of 2024. That's the last time. Let's go back to December 2024 when NVIDIA was over $150 a share. Guess what's happening today? But it is so bad, it's crashing. Guys, NVIDIA is over $150 a share today. That should tell you something about what's happening right now. Again, not financial advice, not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of gain. I'm just trying to hip you to a little bit of gain. See, if you want to and get the temperature of what's going on in the stock market, go look at NVIDIA. Go look at NVIDIA stock. Just go look at it. $152 a share and climbing. What was the high today? 153. Go find the last time the stock market is crashing, but NVIDIA is going up. Come on, guys. You don't have to be a rocket scientist with this, right? And I'm not saying I'm a rocket scientist because I'm not. I get stuff wrong too. But one thing I do know, if the market was in trouble today, I can pretty much, my opinion, NVIDIA would not be at $152 a share right now if the market was in trouble. That's my opinion. You go do your own research and figure it out for yourself. My opinion is you got the most valuable company in the world right now with a $3.73 trillion market cap. Find me one other company in the world that has a market cap of $3.73 trillion. Come on, guys. NVIDIA wouldn't be going up if the market, in my opinion. Now, again, not financial advice, not trying to tell you what to do, but let me make sure I'm clear for all the voices out there listening. My opinion is NVIDIA would not be at $152 a share if the market wasn't poised to go higher. That's my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to be a financial advisor, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you my little 2 cents. See, when I'm thinking about what's going on with the market, I just go to NVIDIA, and that gives me a sense. But back to my point about CoreWeave, and again, this is not me trying to tell you to go buy anything. I'm just giving you my opinion, right? This is what this channel is about. I can give my opinion. Last time I checked in this country, I can still give my opinion. You certainly can decide not to watch my YouTube channel, right? But last time I checked, I can get my opinion. Here's my opinion. CoreWeave going down right now. A lot of people panicking. Oh my God, it's going down. CoreWeave's down to 168. Guys, you do know NVIDIA and CoreWeave have a partnership, right? You do know that, right? You do know they got a $1.67 billion facility in Plano, Texas together. A data center. You do know that, right? You do know the 24 million shares that NVIDIA has in stock of CoreWeave is worth about market value around $2 billion, right? You do know that, right? I'm just asking. For some of y'all in here, y'all may not know that. I'm just trying to tell you what my little research is. Go do your own research and fact check me though. Don't take my opinion. Go do your own research. Just go do a research on CoreWeave and NVIDIA partnership. Just go do that research. And you'll see that they got a data center in Plano, Texas. Huge one, $1.6 billion data center. You will also find out that when NVIDIA is producing this advanced chips, CoreWeave has priority status. You know what that means, right? They're like first in line to get the new chip. Well, you do understand NVIDIA is the most accomplished advanced chip maker in the world, right? It's the most valuable company in the world. It's almost a $4 trillion market cap. Name one other company in the history of the world that's had anywhere close to a $4 trillion market cap. Remember back in Liberation Day when NVIDIA was $85 a share? Y'all was coming at me. Remember y'all was coming at me? How you like them now? I don't know. I'm just saying. Y'all was coming at me. Okay. What I'm saying is, for my opinion, the market is poised to go higher. That's just my opinion. I do not have any factual evidence for that other than what I just pointed out to you, which is my opinion. Again, you got to go out and do your own research and figure out what's right for you and yours. But I'm telling you, the market is poised to do what? We had a report from, let me see, which one of the major banks was this? Let me just find out, because I want y'all to understand this. I don't want to be guessing on this. But so let me figure out which major bank said that the S&P 500 would hit 6,500 points in 2025. So you just go to ChatGPT. Boom! That's who it was. Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. Two big boys, by the way. Y'all do know who they are. If you don't, go do some research. But they're two big boys. Let me just read this to you. I'm just telling you, in my opinion, where we're headed. That don't mean now we can't get bad news or tweet or something crazy happen. But here's where I believe we're headed. The S&P 500 could hit 6,500 points by the end of the year, according to Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, boosted by the U.S. economy's growth and higher corporate earnings. That's Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley. But then it gets better. It gets better. Just hang in there. It gets better. It gets better. Just hang in there. It gets better. We got one more. Here we go. Here's another one. Let's just click on this one so that y'all know I ain't tripping. HSBC expects S&P 500 index to hit 6,700 points by the end of 2025. HSBC, another big boy bank, another big boy bank. So my point in telling you that, guys, is not that that's going to come true, but what I'm telling you is what people and experts, these are experts, HSBC, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, these are experts, not me. I have no clue. But I can go out and hear what the experts are saying. Now, that doesn't mean the experts will be right. But what I see right now is the perfect scenario for the market. You got rate cuts coming. Now, here's the thing. Here's the negative on it. If in June, July, and August, this tariff policy, this tariff war, this tariff tax kicks in, inflation will go up. But here's the saving grace. If inflation goes up, labor market goes down, what do you think will happen with interest rates? Which one of the mandates will you think the Fed will lean towards? I think they lean towards the labor market going into the crapper, because see, when the labor market goes into the crapper, the economy goes into the crapper. So if the labor market continues to soften, even if the tariffs, spike up inflation a little bit, I think the Fed still reduce rates because they gotta save the economy. And one of the tools they use to save the economy when the labor market goes into the crapper is interest rates, because they know interest rates is a stimulant. It's stimulus. Interest rates are stimulus to our economy. Why? Because anytime you drastically reduce rates, it's cheaper to borrow money. When you can borrow money cheaper, that's a stimulus. That's a supply of money being added to our economy. So if you got to pick between transitory inflation and the labor market going down and finna drag the economy down, GDP down, etc., I think the Fed takes the labor market. They'll save the labor market. Because I think they believe, even with the tariffs, it's transitory. All transitory means is it's temporary. So I think it's a positive catalyst. Here's the thing, and this is why I think the stock market will be fine. Even if we get transitory inflation, right, goes up because of tariffs, it's temporary, right? It's temporary. Especially if, guess what? We come up with some type of tariff, plan for the globe. Right now, we don't got no plan. So that's why it's kind of up in the air, because we really haven't made a deal with anybody. So hopefully at some point we will make some deals that they told us they would make. We ain't made any yet. We got a lot of talk, but we ain't got no deals yet. So that's one of the reasons the Fed ain't reduced interest rates right now. But I believe the Fed will reduce interest rates in July. I think there's going to be pressure on the Federal Reserve Chairman from his own committee, not just from President Trump, but from his own committee. It's going to be more pressure on him to reduce interest rates in July. And if we don't get them in July, you most certainly will get them in September. That's what I believe. And if the labor market goes to the crapper before that, you'll get them even earlier, because that's the only way they're going to be able to save the labor market and the economy is by lowering interest rates to stimulate it. Now, again, guys, I'm not an expert here. I'm just giving you my little 2 cents. I'm just telling you why I think the stock market is poised to continue doing well. Because interest rates are going to come down at some point. They got to. Too much pressure on Powell from 47. Now you got even pressure from your own people in your own committee, your own FOMC coming out publicly, which you rarely see, guys. They're coming out publicly. 3 of them. 3 of them. In the last week, 3 of them have come out publicly and said, yeah, we can see rates coming down sooner than later. Perhaps July. And if it does, guys, you think we're doing okay now, it's going. Now, what could stop this from happening, this 6,500 at the end of the year, this 67? If the administration does something that works against the stock market or scares investors, that will derail the whole thing. Because at the end of the day, investors are looking to make money. And if they don't believe they can make money, then they're going to go to the sideline and put their money in money markets and then wait this thing out. So that's the only thing that really can derail, in my opinion, 65 or 6,700 in the S&P is the administration. If the administration just gets out of the way and just says, okay, we're going to let this thing run and don't, say something or do something through policy to cut it off at the knees, I think we're going to continue to do what we're doing, because when you see a company like NVIDIA, and again, guys, I'm not saying this will always happen, but when you see a company like NVIDIA at 152 a share, that's good news. That's good news for me. I don't know about y'all. So I don't care about right now what else is going on. You see NVIDIA at 152. I like that. Let's take a look at another one of the companies that I like. Not promoting it for nobody to do anything, but I got a right to tell y'all what I like. So whatever powers that be see that, they see it. I don't care. I'm going to tell you what I like. That don't mean you got to go out and do anything. I'm not recommending you do anything. I'm just telling you what I like. Palantir. Let's take a look at Palantir. Let's look at that one. Palantir today got up to $147 a share, guys. Palantir. This was today. This was the high. $147 a share. Currently, right now, it's at 143. Tailed off a little bit. Again, why did it tail off, Richard? In my opinion, in my non-professional opinion, because I'm not a professional, I'm not giving you advice. In my non-professional opinion, why did it come down? People taking profits. That's why it came down. Ain't nothing happened to Palantir in one day. It's coming down because people taking profits. You do understand 18 months ago, this thing was $10 a share. 18 months ago. You could have bought Palantir for $10 a share 18 months ago. Today it hit a high of $147 a share, which is its 52-week high. 52-week low. If you think I'm joking around, guys, go out and do your own research. Just go to Google and pull it up. Pull up the ticker symbol. 52-week low, $21.23. Thankful for me, in January, I bought it for $66 a share. Yes, I did. I'm going on a 3X. I'm almost at a 3X. Again, I'm not trying to get nobody financial advice. I'm just telling you what the truth is, period. In January, it was trading at $66 a share. If you go to January of 2025, somewhere in January of 2025, I don't know the exact date, it was trading at $66 a share, and I purchased it. And I've just held it long term. It's long term. And right now, today, it's at 142 and dropping a little bit, but that's because people taking profits, in my opinion. I ain't taking no profits because I'm going to let this thing ride out for 10 more years. I'm just going to let it ride out for 10 more years. And again, I'm no expert here. I'm far from it. I'm just a guy that understands, hey man, the whole purpose of the stock market is to go higher. So all I got to do is go out here and find good companies with a proven track record. And Palantir, of course, is not a huge company yet. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a large cap. It's a $339 billion market cap. So it's a big boy company. But what you got to understand about Palantir is they got contracts with the federal government. And it's one of, 47's companies that he like. They've signed another big old contract with the government to do basically data collection. Right? I don't know the extent of it. I'm not an expert in that field, so I just know they got the contracts and they're doing great. Now, that don't mean they'll always do great. I'm just telling you right now, they got contracts. They got government contracts. Big boy contracts. And 18 months ago, the stock was $10 a share, and all of a sudden it's 143. What accounts for all of that? I don't know. You got to go do your research and figure that one out. I have no idea why it did that. I assume revenue grew. I assume they managed their expenses, and I assume profitability went up. That's what I assume. But you got to go out and do your own research because I'm not an expert here, and I'm not trying to tell you to go buy Palantir. Don't do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you what I did. Not because I'm an expert. I did it because I just felt like, hey, this type of software that they have to take large amounts of data and take that data and break it down into a simplest form where their end user can then easily make decisions on that data. That's just a game changer to me, in my opinion. I'm not a smart guy. I just think data collection, and when you can take that data and break it down and people can use it to make decisions quickly, it's probably a pretty decent business to be in, especially in the age that we're in right now. And that's what these guys do. They break down large amounts of data. Their software does that. Not just on the government side, right? They also do it for the intelligence community, and they also do it for private industry now. They got 4 or 5 different levels of software depending upon what industry you're in. I just thought that was a pretty decent play, right? I said, well, golly, man, that looks pretty decent. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't early on it because I was skeptical. But once I saw it grow, I saw Palantir keep growing because I remember on my YouTube channel, some of y'all will know, I mentioned Palantir way back on my YouTube channel in early 24. Early 2024, I mentioned Palantir. I mentioned NVIDIA. Not because I'm some expert, because I go out and do research. I just go out and do research and I figure out, hey, I go to Google and say, Google, give me the top 10 up and coming artificial intelligence companies. I just go to Google and ask Google that, and then Google put them in there. And then I go to their websites and take a look at the companies. So not trying to be some expert here, because I'm not. I have no idea what Palantir will do a year from now. I have no idea. What I do know is what history says. History says I bought it at $66 a share. History tells me it's worth $142.95 a share right now. That's what history says. I don't know what it's going to do in the future. But right now, from when I bought it in January to right now, that's a pretty good track record, in my opinion. That's a pretty doggone good track record. So I'm going to continue to do what I do, guys, which is finding places to plant seeds to get me a harvest. Not sure what you're going to do. I think right now is an amazing opportunity for a guy like me to continue to plant seeds and look for a harvest in this wonderful thing they call the stock market. The whole purpose of this thing is to go higher. That's my opinion. It may not go higher. It ain't going higher today, it's going down. Well, people taking profits. Because if there was, in my opinion, if there was something that investors were not happy with right now, NVIDIA wouldn't be traded at $152 a share. That's my opinion. Especially if it got anything to do with artificial intelligence or tech. If it had anything to do with artificial intelligence or tech, and investors were not happy with it, and they were rotating out, trust me on this, NVIDIA wouldn't be at $152 a share right now if they were rotating out. Just saying, I just think people are taking profits. You know, when you get to close to all-time highs, investors, large investors, medium-sized investors, small investors, they take profits. They take a little froth off the top. That don't mean they liquidate the whole thing. They just take some froth. They take that. You know how when you go to Starbucks and you order like a Frappuccino, and then Starbucks says, hey man, do you want that whipped cream on top? Right? So you got the Frappuccino at the bottom, right? You know, let's say your cup is that big. You got that much of the Frappuccino, then you got that little whipped cream on top. See, that's that froth. So as an investor, I don't take the cappuccino drink. I just take the froth. I take the whipped cream off the top. And that's what I put aside. I take the whipped cream off the top, put that aside, and I leave the Frappuccino there. And I think that's what's happening right now, in my opinion. Again, no expert here, not trying to be one, not trying to give you any type of advice at all. I'm just giving you my little opinion on my little YouTube channel. You go out and figure out what you need to do and do your own thing. You just have to do that, right? Again, man, if y'all want to check out the Wealth Builders Financial Community on Patreon, where I'm giving out the real game, where we are a couple thousand people strong in our financial community, no experts, nobody tries to tell you what to do, nobody tries to sell you anything. All we're there to do is support one another in our wealth building effort to get to financial freedom and passive income. If that's something that ticks the box for you, if that's something that rings your bell, if that's something that makes you feel fuzzy inside, go down to the description box and click on that first link. Come on over to Patreon, sign up for the Wealth Builders Financial Community, and send me a DM, introduce yourself, let me know you're rocking with me, and let's go to work. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing, share the video, smash the like button. Thoughts become things. If you can see it up here in your filter system, you can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never, 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 never stop believing in yourself. Stay healthy, and please get yourself wealthy. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.